Ladies and gentlemen, it is me, David C, or Adam C, or whatever you want to call me. Oh, I was in the process of changing my network adapters. Don't just give me a momentary. Just give me a moment, please. Alrighty. Now we have internet. That's a problem. Okay, let's fix this. Let's make this so you guys can see. I have a 4K giant 28-inch monitor, so like you see this, like yeah, we can't see that. It's amazing. Oh gracious, it's huge. Crap, I feel so bad. I need to start this editing over. Okay, here's the beginning of this video. I've failed this so many times. In order to make a Discord bot, the first step, I'm just gonna jump right into this, is to go to this link. discordapp.com/developer/application/me. It will be the top link in the description, as you are sure to have originally assumed. And I am gonna apologize for my internet. It's absolutely amazing. Don't question it. It's amazing. So, you're gonna have to log in, obviously, unless you're already logged in, which you very well might be. So, Cusco, sorry. Oh, hey, Acidic bot. Yeah, right. So, Acidic Blitz, I at one point was gonna make a bot for his Discord, and he never responded to the email sent. This was an example bot I made, but we're gonna start over because we can. It's so weird how my monitor is so huge that like everything looks huge, but on this one it looks normal on my side monitor. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are logged in. Now we are logged in as a Self-Layer Patrol account. Weird. Alright, we're gonna have to get rid of that. So, you're gonna go and create a new application like I did. I didn't even talk through this. And you're gonna name it something cool. What else did you see coming? Alright. So I decided to have a pufferfish as my permission thing. Alright, as my icon. Alright, now we have a name, we have an icon, save. Boom. While you're doing this, while it's saving, you can go and download Node.js. I don't think that's an actual website, Node.js.org. Cool. You're going to hop into this, and this link is going to be in the description. You are going to download this LTS, and you're going to install it, right? It's already installed for me, but you're going to install that program. And that means you have access in command prompt to what's called npm, and it pops you up into Node. It's going to pop into development here, and I have a file called newbot. Now, this is going to be compressed in a file that you will be able to download. It'll be the Mediafire link, which will be the next link in the description. Alright, you extract that, and voila. So this already has a lot of your Node stuff required. Now, you have to have Node installed in order for this to work, and for this command to work. So, this run, as you see, you can edit it. And this was called a batch file. For those of you who don't know, it is in .bat. It basically runs things. And echo off, that just disables some stuff that you don't need. And node mybot.js. So node, that's what we just installed, and it opens this JavaScript file. I'm showing you how to do a JavaScript file in case I didn't make that clear in the title. Pause means if there's an error, it stops. It doesn't just automatically crash, so you can go back and check the error logs. Alrighty-o. So here's where we get into cool stuff. We have downloaded Node, and we have our base files. We also have our thing here. We're going to go to bot, click on the side here. You're going to add a bot. Voila! Yes, do it. Do it. Do it. Alright, so you have now created a bot. Fantabulous. Now, here's where you will need this token. Victory via token. Alrighty. So, you copy this token. You open your bot configuration file. And here is where you can't do anything unless you have a text editing program that can edit JavaScript. I personally use Gedit. I absolutely love the program, and so I will link it in the description. Alright, so once we have Gedit installed, you're going to take a look at this folder here that our bot is stored in. So for me, it's in my data drive under a folder called development and under new bot. So First step, open config.json. Open config.json. Don't try and rename it. Don't be an idiot like me. And Gedit sometimes does take a while running on Windows. I'm currently running Windows 10. The version of Windows you do this on doesn't matter. This does have to be Windows, however. This is a Windows tutorial. If you try and do this on Linux, it won't work. You're going to take this token and you're going to copy it. You're going to stick it right here. You're going to replace this, and I think I've already replaced it, so it's not going to change. Here's where you're going to change owner ID to the ID of your user. So if we open up Discord here, I'm using the online version because I don't feel like showing my personal account. Now, we're going to go down here to where it says Appearance. You're going to click this. You're going to scroll down. And you're going to turn on Developer Mode. Bloop. And that makes you pretty cool. So, we're going to right click on our user up here. Right click. We're going to go copy ID. Easy. And we are going to put in Gedit our user ID. Voila! And I hit the wrong button. Ooh, and you're going to save it. So, typically it's Control S to save, in case you did not know. Now, we are going to close this document, and we're going to open mybot.js. And here is where you will learn a slight bit of Java coding. Here's where the real actual part of the bot comes in handy. So in case I cut this out, just to let you all know, this is a bot I made for Eclipse. I failed so much at this recording that I don't know what I've cut out and what I haven't and what I've said. So this is what it says here. That is my status message. So on Discord, it will have that as my status. Obviously you can't have statuses when you're doing the online version, but most bots have a status typically saying their help message. Also, this is a dedicated bot. This means this is dedicated to a singular server. Alrighty, so this says on ready when the bot client is basically going to say bot. Gonna go over some simple JavaScript stuff here. Client on ready. So when the client is ready, it is going to log in console and it will say good to go. You can change that to whatever you want here. I could have it say tacos if I wanted to. That's what we're going to have it say. Alright. Now, client user sat, I can English. That's been a long day. Set activity. And here's where you can make this whatever you want. So, I'm going to make this demo bot. And I'm sorry if I just killed your eardrums. Save. And I'm going to do what for help still. So don't feel like changing it. You can make this whatever, you can make this say whatever you want. Real quick. You notice this thing here? It's called a backtick. It's by like this. It's the similar thing to this key, and it's right above your tab key. If you ever need it, it's something you're going to be using a lot if you start writing Java. Alright, it's called a backtick, in case you didn't know. So it does a very similar thing as in quotation, or a singular quote, like that. So, it's cool. So, this is another piece of text that is good. So client on error, so when this has an error, it logs the error to console, and it keeps going. If you don't have this piece of text on an error, your bot will shut it. But this keeps it going no matter what. Unless it's a serious dramatic error, but that means you have an issue in your code somewhere else. We're not going to go into await and async because that gets pretty complicated. So, most of the stuff we're going to do is message. And this says client on message. This means a message. This defines message. And this says async message. Well, I needed the async there when I was messing with async stuff in this bot, which you don't need to worry about any of this. So I have a let server ID equal this. So we're gonna grab our server ID by right clicking our server, and we're gonna go copy ID. Let server ID. I keep closing this. Let's go together. Let server ID equal bloop. Cool. They look too much the same. Now, let admin role equal bot security guards. We're going to change that. We're going to make a separate admin role. And this is going to disable it so certain commands are only accessible to administrators. Server settings, roles. Where's my plus button? Where do I make a new role? There we go. Cool. I am not used to the online version. And we're going to just call this admin. Admin. Cool. Just because we're lame. And we're going to make it that lit color. And we're going to give us administrator privileges and display us differently. Wait. And if I want, I can add myself on a different account to this to prove some stuff. So, okay. Cool. So, I can't see that because my GUI is so huge. Hey, boop, boop, if you want to invite friends to the server. I don't care. Okay. We're going to open up Gedit again. And we will replace this with let admin role equal admin. And so here's the thing. I need to close it. So if I have a tick like this, that also goes the same for an apostrophe looking thing or actual quotes. Typically apostrophes are the most common and backticks in this, we're going to be doing here. And I need to open it, and this will match text basically in this case. And it'll match text for admin, and then I need to tell it to close and stop matching text, and that's what that means. Now, we also are going to want to put a semicolon right here, and that just says the line is over. Alrighty, so here's something here that is said let is as let is, yeah, that is correct. And this defines this term is admin, I can English, to equal this. So wherever I put is admin, it means this. So this is going to go clients.guilds.get server ID. So this is going to get this server, and members.get.message.author.id. So this is your ID or whoever sends this message. .roles.has and a role ID. So this is search for someone with a role ID under there. So this is something that we're going to change here, and we're going to go role, and then we're going to put in these, and we're going to go name. And this is going to search for name. We're going to put a comma, and we're going to go full brackets, and we're going to say, actually we're not going to say that. We're just going to go admin role. The reason why we're going to do that is because it's defined up here. So admin role is going to equal admin. So we don't have to change anything here. So it searched for roles by name of admin. So that's kind of cool how it works there. We're also going to say same message equals args join. So we're going to join all of our arguments at a space. I also define arguments here to equal a message.content.slice by a space. So it splits it into a space separator, and that can be useful in a second. I'll show you. We also let command equals args shift to lowercase. So that means all the arguments to lowercase the first argument. So that makes it helpful. Alright, now what's the nice thing about Gedit is sometimes it shows you some specific information on some of this here. I think it showed me something there, but whatever. It helps you. And the colors are pretty cool. If you see a bunch of pink, that means you probably have an unclosed bracket somewhere. And that's what you need to look at. Alright. Now, here's a if message content to lowercase starts with my configuration prefix and test. Okay, so let me break that down real quick. And I'm not going to go over every single line like that, so please just don't assume I am. I'm just explaining some basic stuff. So if the message that someone sends, the content of the message, to lowercase, starts with, so the first word is my config prefix. So this is the prefix that we defined in our configuration file. It should be default to an exclamation point, and test. So in theory, that would mean if I do exclamation point test, boom, it would send in the same exact channel that this message is sent. It would send, please ensure that client user ID has administrator permissions on the server. And client user ID is the bot. I also have something here where if my bot sends a private message, or if a private message is sent to my bot, it logs it in my chat console. Now, it also sends it into my guild. It sends it to a specific channel I have in my server. And so I'm going to create a channel that is called DMs. And we're going to make it a private channel. Just kidding. We're not. We Wi-Fi. Don't you love it when it's slow? Yes. Alright. We're going to copy channel ID for this. I just want to check out the right one. We're going to put it in here. Channel.get. Bleep. and here, bloop, and here we're going to get our guild ID, which I could and I should actually be using guild ID up here, where it just says server ID or whatever that is here. I should just be using this right there. So that's also going to work, and that's what you should be doing to make it correct and easier. Here's another thing that's important. This is good to have at the very top. I have it halfway down here because I want this to be able to work with a bot. But this says if the message author, the author of the message, is a bot, then it returns. So it quits doing anything else. It quits reading the code. Now, if message content to lowercase starts with unmute, blah blah blah, this is a special unmute command for that. Alright, we don't need to worry about that. This is simply something you can do, exclamation point unmute, and tag a user into unmute statement. So it removes a muted role. That basically you make a role that gives them no permissions to speak. And else is something that says if this checks to see if the message.mentions.members.first. So this is the first member that is mentioned in the message. Something to think about in JavaScript is just to read backwards. The first member that's mentioned in the message. .roles has. So do they have the role ID? And this will check to see if they have a muted role. Then, if they have it, that's what this means, is if so, it's going to do what's in these brackets, these closing things here, and it's going to say message mentions members first, so same exact person, role remove, role, muted role, and it's going to catch an error and throw it in console. Message channel send, person has been unmuted. Now, if that person isn't muted, it's going to say, that means else, so if the member is muted, it'll unmute them. Otherwise, it'll respond and say they're not muted and therefore cannot be unmuted. So that is the if else clause, and that is very helpful. And if you take a look at these, this has to all close. This one ends up closing to here, and everything in there closes. This ends up closing the next bracket, which is right there. This ends up closing the next bracket, which is right there, and so forth, so on, so forth. It just keeps closing. You have to have them close correctly. Gracious, my volume's loud, or it will have that issues. So before we do anything, we already have a couple commands we can try. We can try an unmute command. We can just try to send our bot a private message. We have a test command. Now, before we do any of that, I'm going to add a ping command. And I know I have a ping command in here somewhere, and I don't feel like finding it, so I'm going to hit Control F, find ping, cool. And if message content starts with ping, message channel send, pong, and the milliseconds, cool. So I don't even have to worry about that. We're going to pop in here real quick and start our bot. We're going to go click on run.bat, and guess what? I have an unclosed set of brackets. I don't have this closed originally, so I actually need another one. And the reason why is because that closes right there. This closes right there. So that's the issue I have. I run this, it'll launch just fine. Just kidding, it'll throw an error because there's an unexpected token in my JSON text. So real quick, we're gonna have to fix all these errors before we can start it. The reason why is because I can't have this there when it's the last one. So I'm going to delete that and close all these. We're going to save it and we're going to close. We are now going to click run and we're going to see it runs. So fantastic. We're about to have a tacos in our chat. Now, like I said, I have some terrible Wi-Fi right now. Cool. So tacos, we're working. This should be much faster for you. So we're going to real quick hop into this text document that I so precariously hid, and we are going to go to this link, and we're going to add this bot to our channel. We're also going to have to take the ID and general information, client ID, and we are going to stick it right at the end of this. So client ID equals client ID. Fantastic. And it will authorize access. We do not need this anymore. We can just go ahead and close it. And we're going to go here and connect to Discord tacos. Authorize. I forgot to select server because my goal is bot show offs. And you hear a sound. Guess what? Roses are red, violets are blue, tacos join the server with you. That's great. And guess what? Look at him. He's gorgeous. Now, we're going to do a ping command. Let's run the test command first. We see cannot read property members of undefined. And now we have to look at our text and solve the error. Alright, and we did not throw an error. We have, please ensure that Tacos has administrator permissions on the server. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick us with our admin role. Or I could give him a bot role or something. This is up to you. You can also automatically set this up, but that gets into some pretty complicated stuff. Another thing, another good link that will be in the description is discord.js.org. That is a fantastic website to learn more about Discord JavaScript. So now we have administrator access. We're going to real quick type ping 876 milliseconds. That means it takes 0.8 seconds to respond. For those of you people who actually understand JavaScript and are looking at this, please understand that this is a terrible setup in here. I have a lot of extra stuff that is going to be extremely useless. And some of this was like, this is useless. I understand that. This is a very old piece. Alright. So. Also, you can see something great. Your bot token is something you shouldn't give to anyone. And that's something good to keep in mind. And that's why that is what my bot token equals. So. Don't give it to anyone because they will have access to control your bot and it will give them great stuff in your server. So I'm also going to mess with what's called an evaluation command. And this is in this piece of code that you have, so you don't need to worry about it. But my command is !E. And this allows you to test any piece of code. And this is great to learn. So I can go E client, and I'm having issues typing because my microphone is in my face. And this is going to pop up with a bunch of things I can do. So something we can do is let's go to client, !E client.uptime. And this is going to show us how long our bot has been online. If message author ID is not equal, that's what that means, ! Equal, is not equal to config.owner ID. And this is in our configuration document here. And that's under the owner ID. Then it returns and it quits. Because you do not want anyone besides yourself to have access to the evaluation command. That gives complete control of your bot. Like something I could do if I wanted is E. Let's go client.guild.members.get. And we're going to actually stop it at members. We're going to quickly grab our guild ID and we're going to stick it here and we're going to see what this shows up. Alright, so I just joined with my main account. Look, .mc, alrighty-o. It's a bird, it's a plane. No, never mind, it's just .mc. And I'm typing for some reason, but members. And we're going to record quick, we're going to send this command again. And we're going to see which one didn't change. Members, and we're going to type .get. In essence, I'm simply explaining why you don't want to give everyone admin access. So this is my user, and we're gonna stick me here. and we need to stick quotations around this because it's direct text. And if we take a look at this, this is going to give us some information on me. It is fantastic. So this gives me some cool information. Are you ready? We are no longer going to be on the server. Goodbye. We just disappeared. We got kicked from the server. And so something I need to real quick address. If it's a function, as it says here, you have to have quotations at the end of it, or sorry, parentheses. So in some of my text here, you'll see that there are some to lowercase without it. To lowercase is a function. So it needs that. No matter if there's anything in it, you can also enable some fancy stuff with it. So it is fancy. Now here's the basics to a Discord bot. Now you can add whatever you want in here. You know what? We're gonna make it so you have to watch the end of the video to get this figured out. You'll never know. So we're gonna go config.owner ID. That means the owner of the bot is going to be spammed with this every time. At the end, I'm going to put a let me just put a quick note right here to tell everyone who just doesn't happen to watch this far into the video, which I don't know why you wouldn't. It's a great video. I'm going to say watch to the end of the video to find how to remove this. Wow. Alright, I'm gonna get so many dislikes on my video for that. Do I care about my like to dislike ratio? No. Alright, let's turn tacos on again. Oh gracious, that sounds bad. I'm gonna say hi. And we're about to get spammed with PMs from the bot. There's the first one. There's the second one. There's the third one. See, here it goes. Watch the end of the video to find out how to remove this. Wahaha.
My name is Jeff. And I like tacos, I think it's what it says. And I like tacos, and I like, so correctly, tacos. Fantastic.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, watch to the end to figure out how to remove that. Thank you very much for watching. And if you have any other questions, ask me. Feel free to join my Discord. Not this one, a legitimate one that actually is meant for solving questions. And I do have a bot in that Discord as well. He's not always working and not always active because I have terrible internet, as you can tell. But he is usually there. So he solves some questions, he answers some questions. He's developed a little bit better than this one. He's newer. I wrote him when I understood Java more. But if you have any questions, any errors, throwing stuff, feel free to talk to me. Message me on Discord. I'm lonely. I'm friends. Okay. So, anyways, have a good day. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching.